All right, welcome to Alabama for Game 3 post-game press conference in 2023 SEC Baseball Tournament. Joined by head coach Jason Jackson, along with winning pitcher Hunter Furtado and right fielder Andrew Pinckney. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes.
Yeah, I thought it was a really clean game overall. Hunter gave us a great start. He's done a lot out of the bullpen for us. He made a spot start a few weeks ago in a midweek game, and we thought he looked really good in that outing. And so when this opportunity came up, not wanting to throw some of those weekend guys on 2 days short rest, the opportunity presented itself for Hunter. The matchup looked good versus throwing a left-handed pitcher against them. So went to Hunter and I said, "Hey, dude, it's yours if you want it." He said, "Heck yeah, I want it." Just wanted to really get 2 or 3 innings. We talked about it before the game. Hey, man, just go out and give us 2 or 3 zeros and get the game off to a good start. And, we got a little bit more than we bargained for with him going 5 scoreless. So huge start from him, huge home run from Pink, pitching, hitting, and I thought we played really good defense. So I thought it was a pretty clean game overall. I was proud of our guys, and, they've been awesome.
Questions for the student athletes? We'll start in the back, right?
Andrew, a career game, shining on all levels. What's the confidence level for you? There's a lot of good players in the SEC, but do you think you're one of the top ones, if not the top, here in Hoover?
Yeah, I'm not really worried about everybody else. Just trying to be the best version of myself every day, and make my teammates proud, make my coaches proud, and make my parents proud. So if they're happy, then and we win, then I'm happy. So.
All right, down here on the left.
Andrew, as the ball's on the play at the plate, where you threw the runner out, as the ball's coming down, are you feeling like he's going to go and you're readying yourself to throw? I know at times people haven't run on you as much. Did you kind of have that anticipation as the ball's dropping?
Yeah, you could tell they were trying to scrap for runs. Everybody pretty much knew that he was going to go, and my teammates were yelling for the whole way, and I just wanted to make a good throw, and I did. So.
All right, over here on the right.
For both the players, what's the mindset of this team? You guys won 9 of 11 since March the 4th. Obviously, everything that happened at that what's the mindset? Is it kind of a us against the world kind of mentality since all that happened?
Yeah, we're not really worried about any adversity or anything. We're just playing no pressure, playing for the guy beside us, and just taking everything a pitch at a time. And when you do that and you just play as a team, good things happen, and we'll just be happy to be playing tomorrow. So.
Right in the back.
Going off of that, you guys have been playing so well entering this tournament, having a shutout to open the postseason. How much confidence does that give you guys going forward for the rest of this week and into the NCAA tournament?
Well, I just believe in our pitching staff a lot. I think we have one of the top pitching staffs, and we have a lot of guys in the bullpen that are ready to go, and a lot of starters that are ready to go too. And I think it sets us up really well for the rest of the week.
All right, down front, in first row.
Obviously, you guys have been through a lot. Do you have any thoughts on what happened with Brad Bohannon and the team? I guess that whole incident.
No, sir.
No.
Next over here on the right, second row.
Hunter, they had runners in scoring position in each of the first 3 innings. You were able to get out of it each time. Just what did you do to kind of center yourself during those situations and get out of those jams?
Well, I just took it one batter at a time, and I knew I had great guys behind me. I thought the biggest play of the game was when Pink threw that guy out because we had one out at the time. He caught the ball and threw the guy out. And once that happened, I just knew that if there were guys in scoring position, all I had to do was just get the next guy out.
Okay, we have time for one more for the student athletes on the left.
Yeah, Hunter. Hello. Essentially, like a year ago today, Ben Hess came out here and did what he did against Georgia in the opening round of that tournament. You kind of were put in a similar position, only making your second start of the year. What kind of confidence did it give you that Jason wanted you out there, and how cool was it to go out there and do what you did today?
Yeah, I love having the ball, and I love starting games. It's something I'm comfortable doing. I've done the past 2 summers in the Cape, and just having JJ trust me with the ball with a big game like this, I just had the confidence and knew that I was going to give the best I could out there for the team.
All right, thank you, Andrew and Hunter. We'll now, you're excused. We'll take questions for the head coach. Any questions for Coach? Right here on the.
It sounds like from players that they've done a really good job of shutting out the noise, considering all that's happened in recent weeks. That's easier said than done. What have you tried to do to try to kind of foster that environment where a really difficult situation, appears to have not gotten the best of them.
Right. Well, I think, fortunately we have a really older, mature team, and, I know we've said that a bunch, but I think that's so important. And, with something like this, they've done a great job of, just keeping things consistent, right? And that's what we've tried to do as coaches too, is, just keep things business as usual, right? And the more we can stay in our routines and the more we can keep things business as usual and the more it feels like that for them. But, they've done a really good job of kind of blocking everything out, and sometimes, excuse me, this stuff kind of helps you focus a little bit, so.
All right, on the second row.
Jason, you entered the game kind of on that fringe of hosting a regional. This is a big RPI win for you guys. Do you feel like you've done enough now, or?
Yeah, the committees, they got a tough job to do, right? There's so many good teams, and there's so many teams that have had great seasons. I felt like going in that we were in a good position with 16, so I hope that 17, really kind of pushes it over the edge.
All right, we're in the middle.
The pitching run you guys have gone through this last, I think, 10, 11-game stretch through SEC play has been a great turnaround. Is there anything kind of schematically that you guys have adjusted to, or kind of maybe the guys believing themselves more? What's led to the jump in productivity?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything too different, We've gotten some really quality starts. We've had some guys step up out of the bullpen. I mean, Jacob McNary and Garrett McMillan, the two older veteran guys have done a great job on Saturdays and Sundays, and Luke Holman's been solid for us all year long. But some of the things out of the bullpen, I mean, Aiden Moses really stepped up and had some really quality outings for us. Cade Woods and Alton Davis have been good. So we've had some guys step up, but, for the most part, everything's kind of stayed the same. I mean, our catchers do a great job back there, and so that's all been big parts of it.
In the back right.
Coach, I asked Andrew, and he was very humble, but he had a pretty awesome game all around. What kind of player is he, and what can a player like that do going through this tournament in Hoover?
Well, you see, he can kind of put you on his back, right? And there's a lot of players like him in this tournament. There's some superstars, right? There's a lot of star power here in Hoover, and but he's certainly one of those guys, right? He can do it on both sides of the ball, and you saw tonight whether it's that slide and catch, in foul territory, throwing a guy out at the plate. He can change the game defensively, and then obviously offensively too. And you just can't say enough about him as a person either. Like I tell you this all the time, if in the video games, if you can create a player, however you want to create a player. Well, if you could just create a human, if you could create a human being, then that, I think, it'd be Andrew, right? Like he's kind of perfect in pretty much every area. The guy was, on top of all that, he was also the Scholar Athlete of the Year, by the way, so. Or co-Scholar Athlete of the Year, I guess.
Right in the front row.
We talked about your pitching. You said you only expected, Hunter to go 2-3. How important was it, this is a long tournament. How important was it for him to go 5? And I think the guys you brought out of the bullpen, their pitch count still stayed low.
Yeah, huge. Anything you could do to save pitching in this tournament, because you get to Saturday and you get to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you're kind of hoping you can get anybody out there, right? So for him to go 5 and, be able to save some guys for tomorrow, we're fortunate. We've got some depth, that's been one of the strengths of our team this year is, I think, depth on the mound. So we've got some depth, but shoot, man, I ain't going to walk away from 5 scoreless. We'll take that every day. So that was huge for him. Huge for us.
Jason, small ball has been Kentucky's MO the entire season. You witnessed that firsthand when they were in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
You were able to nullify that tonight. Is there anything specific you maybe attribute that to?
No, I mean, we spent a lot of time working on it. We spent some time this week once we knew that's who we were playing. We spent some time trying to prepare for it. They do a great job with it. They're really, really skilled in their bunt game, and they're really, good at. They got 4 guys with almost 20 stolen bases. So we knew that going in, being able to control their action was going to be a big piece. I think trying to keep the leadoff guy off base, kind of limit some of that. I think getting an early lead can kind of get some of that. Those were some things going in. We tried to, let's try to get out to a lead early. Maybe that'll slow some of that down. Let's try to do a good job keeping the leadoff hitter off base. Usually that'll slow that down a little bit too. So I think we were able to do some of that. But yeah, I mean, that's certainly a strength of their game, and certainly, something that we try to prepare for.
All right, we have time for 2 more over here in the back right.
Hey, Coach, when you were first told that you were going to be the interim head coach, what were your initial thoughts? And sitting up here right now, how nice is it to look and see how much success you've had since in this position?
I haven't really thought about too much of that, to be honest, right? Like, whenever this happens, like whenever it happens, like your first thought just goes to the players and like, hey, what do we need to do to make sure these guys kind of keep moving in the right direction? And since then, it's just been every week. We're just kind of showing up, and we're trying to go 1-0 today, right? Let's make sure we take it one game at a time, one day at a time. And they've done a great job of really. I know Pink said it. Sorry, but I know Pink said it, of just kind of playing for each other, right? And showing up every day, staying in your routines, play for the guy beside you, and let's do a good job of trying to go 1-0 today. So.
In the front row.
Coach, talk about your confidence in Hunter, and obviously your schedule this part of the year now is a bit different than the regular season, but if you hypothetically needed a fourth guy, has he pitched his way into that spot?
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly a guy in the mix, you know. I mean, we've got some other guys that we would feel comfortable starting too, but, you know, with what Hunter's done his last 2 starts, you know, it's, you know, it definitely helps having a guy that you think you can go to as a 4th starter since, you know, we had a good kind of setup going, and then with, you know, Ben Hess and Grayson Hitt being out, we were kind of piecing together some of those midweek games, but, you know, Hunter's done a great job for us his last 2 starts, so, it's, you know, definitely going forward, it's nice.
Coach, thanks very much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all.